Small businesses should be aiming to eliminate all the broken links from their website for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's really bad for your search engine optimization and will negatively impact your ranking in search engine results. And of course, it's very frustrating for a user when they go to click on a link or a button or an image and the link goes nowhere or doesn't do what they expect it to do. There's a couple of different reasons why a link might be broken. The first being that the link never worked in the first place. So this often happens when the URL that's used in the link is typed in manually or it's copied and pasted incorrectly. And then after the changes have been published to the website owner doesn't check their work and doesn't test their updates. So this is why it's always important to go through all of your updates, go through all of the changes on your website that you've made or that a web developer has made, and make sure that all of the buttons are functioning correctly and there's no errors. Another reason why a link might not work is because a page has been removed or the URL has changed. This could be an internal link, which means it's one part of your website linking to another part of your website. It could be a separate page or your shop or a section of the page that's further down. But basically it's something that's within your control, so it's something that you can fix once you have found it. Otherwise it could be an external link or an outbound link, which means it's linking from your website to someone else's website, so a different domain entirely. And obviously you don't have too much control over what other people do with their websites, and you're likely not to be notified when changes are made. So this is another reason why you need to be checking your website regularly to find errors like this so that you can fix them before they bother too many potential customers. So there's a couple of ways that you can find broken links on your website. The first is if a customer tells you, which is rare but handy when it does happen. Another one, which is I guess the more painful method, but really one of the best methods, is to manually sift through your website as though you were a potential customer, the most curious customer that you can imagine, who is just navigating every nook and cranny of your website. They're looking for any little piece of information that they can. They are clicking every single button. That's what you need to do in order to find any images that aren't loading, any links that are not working, any links that are going to the wrong page. So maybe a link is technically working, it does open up a new page, it doesn't result in an error, but the page that it's linked to is not correct. So it's maybe meant to be a link to your Facebook page, but instead it links to your YouTube account. So they're the kind of errors that only really a person who knows what should be happening can pick up on. The other method is to use an online tool. There's a lot of online tools that can help you check for broken links. There's one that we really like that's called Dr. Link Check, and that is linked within our blog post, so have a look at that to see some instructions on how to use Dr. Link Check. Now this platform has both free and paid plans. The free plan has the capacity to check up to 1,500 links, so 1,500 links. So if your website has been around for a very long time, if you've got a website that's very complex, then this probably isn't going to be enough for you. But if you've got a new website, or if it's just quite simple, this should be enough to give you a sense of whether or not you've got a lot of links to correct, or maybe there's only a handful. We recommend that you use this tool in addition to checking your website manually. This isn't a replacement for that process. Unfortunately, you do still need to go through your website manually and schedule time regularly in your day-to-day business operations to do this. So maybe you're going to do this once a month, maybe it's once every 3 months, and always checking your work when you make any changes to your website. If you upload a blog or you update a page, going through and making sure that all of those changes work. Okay, so now I'm going to go onto my computer and I'll do a little demo of Dr. Link Check so you know how to use it. Okay, so this is the website that we're going to check. This business is still in the process of setting up their website. It's pretty bare bones. There's not a lot of content here to show you. They've only got a couple of pages, a header, a footer, and a menu. So if we head over to Dr. Link Check and we paste in the URL of the website and click Start Check. Now it might take a minute or two for it to check this website, so I'll get back to you when it's done. All right, so that's finished, and we can see that on this website, as I said, it is quite small. There's only 183 links on Halftone's website, but they do have 2 links that have issues. So if we go over here to the menu on the left, we can click on all issues, which shows all broken, backlisted, and parked links. We won't go into backlisted and parked links at the moment, but we just want to go to broken. So these are the URLs that were not working, and this is the result of what happens when you click those links. So when you try to click this one, the page isn't found, so it appears with a 404 not found error. And this one, it shows host not found, and we can see that that is because the website URL has been typed incorrectly. So it's written without the N here as it should have there. So if we click on details, we can see which pages this link appears on. And so because this one appears on seemingly every page on this website, I can kind of guess from that it's probably going to be in either the header or the footer of the website. So let's head back over to the website. And what was it was services. So maybe if we click on this services and see if that takes us where we want to go. Okay, so that's the problem. It takes us to a 404 error. This business has set up a custom 404 error page, which you can do. Otherwise, it'll come up with a kind of default 404 error. So you can set something up that will be branded, and you can give your customers an option to continue navigating your website. We definitely recommend that you do that. That's great. We know where that error is. That means that the business can go in and fix that now that they know where the problem is. Now, if we go back to this report, let's have a look at this one, contact. If we click on details, we can see that it's linked from these pages. So let's open up that one. So we can see here that even though this is a list of their services, the URL up the top says about. So that's why that previous link wasn't working. And that's something that this business is going to have to work on. So it was contact was the issue. We could try this one, but because it didn't appear on every page, I doubt it's going to be the footer. Okay, so contact works. Maybe it's this, get in touch. Okay, so that's the problem there. So clicking on this get in touch, because the URL hasn't been written correctly, it's missing that N when we click this button. As you can see, half toe, not half tone. That's why that link isn't working. So that should be a pretty easy fix for this business to go in and update that. You might have more errors. You might have none. If you have a look at these link details and have a look through your pages where the problem appears and you still can't find it, you can click on source, and this will bring up the HTML code and highlight where the link is. Now, if you are completely unfamiliar with HTML code, this might be a bit overwhelming. It might be like trying to read another language, which it basically is. So depending on your competency with HTML and with website editing in this kind of format, this might be helpful or it might not. If it's not helpful and you can't find these broken links, then that might be when it's time to get in touch with a web developer and ask for their assistance in fixing up this problem for you.